everybody, and welcome to a weekly reading vlog. I don't know what happened to my voice just then. Welcome. It is the 2nd of September, which means the readathons have all officially started. It's going to be a crazy month. I have just spent my morning sorting out my core pile sheet and then also actually writing down all of the books that I have to read for all of the prompts that I have to read for. So you can... There's lots, but luckily enough I was actually able to double up on some. So should I go through them now? Let's go through them now. We'll go through them. I have my book here. As you can see, there are quite a lot of books. So, okay, so this is currently the stack that I have, plus another book and a audiobook. So this is my current stack for the month of September. It's crazy, it's big, but you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's gonna go great. All right, so I have my Roll20 rolls that I did for my own TBR game, obviously. So I rolled a 5 firstly, which was a reread, so I'm going to be rereading Air of Fire by Sarah J Maas, so I can continue on with the series and actually get to finishing it at some point, goodness knows when. I then rolled another 5, which brings me to another reread, which is going to be 6 of Crows. This is for my friend Charlie. I'm going to be annotating this copy and then giving it to her so she can annotate it, and it's just going to be a cool old time. So there's that one. I then had an 8, which is a sci-fi adult book. I don't really own any sci-fi adults that I want to read. I also don't really have any, so I'm going to be listening to the audiobook All Systems Read by Martha Wells. This is going to be read on Script. I then rolled a natural 20, which is I can pick anything I want to read, so it's kind of like a mood read. And for that one, I've decided to pick up my book from August, which is The Discovery of Witches by Deborah Harkness. This is a very big, chunky boy, but it's going okay. And then I rolled a 12, which is a classic. So I'm going to be reading Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. So those are all the books that I have for my own game that I need to complete. Moving on to the Bookopoly rolls. The first one that I landed on was a chance card. So the book that I picked with that one was A Lesson in Vengeance by Victoria Lee. I have bought this book, I'm just waiting for it to arrive. Shipping is currently a little bit crazy at the moment. There are a lot of people who are going on strike and causing shipping to be delayed, and so yes, if I don't end up getting that within at least a week left of September, I will be rolling another chance card and picking a different book. Alright, I then landed on Who, which is a book that you haven't really heard anyone speak about. So the book that I have decided to pick is Shades of Milk and Honey by Mary Robinette Kowal, I think is how you pronounce her name. I have a hair in my eye. So I've picked this one. The next one was Current Events. So that is something that can relate to something that's happening in the news right now. I decided to pick The Poppy War because it has a lot to do with war, and there's also racism and a lot of other things involved, so I figured that would probably fit well with it. I want to reread this one because I did read it last year, but I read it in a 24-hour readathon, so I'm going to try and give myself more time to annotate this and to sort of sink it in more. The next one I got was the color of the last book you read has to be the color of the next book. So the one that I read last was The House in the Cerulean Sea, which has a blue cover, so I went with Air of Fire because it does have a very similar bluey green tone. Then I rolled a recent purchase. The one that I recently purchased is Girl, Serpent and Thorn. You can even see I have the price sticker on it, so there's that one. The next I rolled a community shelf, which is a list of prompts on the cards I just decided to use my own D20 roll prompts. So I rolled a 15, which is to read a book that's written by a POC or black author. I went with the Poppy War again, so I didn't have to add extra books onto my TBR, because it's already getting crazy big. So there's that one. The next one I rolled was TBR game. I already have a TBR game, so I just rolled another prompt for me, and it was Call a Friend. I called my sister in to have a look at my bookshelf, and she decided to pick for me Assassin's Apprentice, so I'm going to be reading this one. And then the last one I rolled was History, so it can be anything that is either set in a historical period, it's about history, it can be non-fiction, fiction, doesn't matter. For this one I decided to choose Shades of Milk and Honey because this is set in the Regency period of England. I don't know exactly what time period that is, but it's Regency, so 19 something. And so those are all of the Bookopoly prompts, and then I have my magical readathon prompts. I'm only going to be completing 2, but if somehow through some miracle if I end up completing all of these books, I will be adding more. But so far I only have 2, and the first one is a thriller or a mystery. I decided to pick The Maidens by Alex Michaelides, that person there. And then the next one was 5-star prediction, so I picked Lovely War by Julie Berry. That is a lot of books for me to read, a lot of books for me to get through. I am stressed, but that is fine. I have started reading The Discovery of Witches. I'm about 75 pages through. It's going okay so far. The text is just really tiny, so it's making it difficult to read. And because this is also a big book and I don't particularly want to crack the spine, it's making it a little bit hard to read. But so far this is about a witch called Diana Bishop. She works as a historian, sort of, at Oxford. She's in the middle of doing a research about alchemy in like either the 16th, 17th or 18th century, I can't exactly remember. And she discovers this manuscript that has apparently been lost for ages and ages, and it holds the key to learning the history about all of the creatures, so the witches, the vampires, the demons, everything else under the sun. That puts her as a target for everybody because they all think she has it even when she doesn't, and thus introduce the second main character called Matthew Claremont, who is a vampire and is also a scientist, and I think a neurologist, something along those lines. Anyway, it's very interesting so far. I really like the atmosphere. It's giving me spooky vibes, and it's also making me wish I lived in Oxford and I could study at Oxford, but that is a dream for another time. And yeah, there's a little bit of like scientifical talk, and you can definitely tell that the author not only has done her research, but the author herself is actually, I think, a historian or an archivist. So she knows her shit, and you can definitely tell she knows her shit. So yeah, I'm reading that. I'm thinking later today I do want to actually read another book. I'm thinking I might pick up, I'll start with something small first maybe, Shades of Milk and Honey, just to have a read of this. This is obviously set in Regency period. We have our main character Jane Ellsworth. She is very good at manipulating glamour, so making illusions and things like that, and she wants to be able to try and use that as a way of getting money for her family, and in doing so that's not really what women should be doing during this time period. And something happens to her family and she uses her magical ability, and that gains the attention of a renowned professional glamourist, Mr. Vincent, and they fall in love, I'm guessing. Anyway, so yeah, I might read this today. It's very short, as you can see. How many pages is this? 200 and... I could finish this in like an hour. I may do that. Let's go and read this. Hello, good morning everyone. It is Thursday. No, it's Friday. What am I saying? I did not update you guys yesterday at all because I met up with my friend Charlie and we spent the afternoon together, and then I got home and went to the gym and then came back and slept. I'm about to head to work, but I figured I would give you a update on what I have read so far. So I started Shades of Milk and Honey. It's going okay. I just enjoy reading Regency period romances because it's just, you know, getting invited to balls and not being allowed to be alone with the men, and just, you know, taking walks around in the garden, and just, oh, it's just so lovely, and how they all talk to each other. So I'm enjoying that aspect of it. The magic system is a little bit interesting. So they have this thing called glamour, which is essentially very similar to like a fae glamour, where they can change their appearance and things like that. And our main character Jane is very, very good at it, which is something that like a lady isn't really supposed to be good at. And there is this man who comes into their circle, I guess, called Mr. Vincent, and he is a very well-known, renowned professional glamourist, and I think he is willing to teach her or something along those lines. I'm not too sure. I am about 70 pages through, and on the back it says that there's something happens to her family and they come under threat. So I don't know, but so far I am enjoying it. I haven't read much more on the Discovery of Witches, but I have also actually started All Systems Red by Martha Wells. It's very interesting. I am really enjoying it. The main character, the robot, I don't know if he has a name. That's the one thing I will say I am slightly struggling with, is that the names aren't like, you know, Jack, Bob. They're quite unique names, or at least I think just, you know, POC names possibly. So I am struggling a little bit with trying to figure out, you know, who is saying what, because I can't see how it's written, so I don't know how it's, you know, somebody will understand what I mean. So yes, but the story is written from the robot's perspective, and it seems like he is similar to how like the robot from Prometheus is. Like they have like a human exoskeleton. They look like a human on the outside, but they're a robot on the inside type of thing. He's very, very sassy. And yeah, I've only listened to the first 2 chapters out of 9. It's a very, very short audiobook because it is a novella, so it's only about 3 hours long. So I'm hoping that I will be able to finish that maybe by the end of today. I do have work for about 5 hours, so I won't get home until about 5 o'clock. It's almost 11:30 now, so I do need to go. Yeah, I should be able to finish it today, and then hopefully be able to finish off the rest of Shades of Milk and Honey. But nonetheless, I am going to head off to work now, and I will chat to you guys when I get back. And yeah, hello everyone. I have just come back from work. I am very, very sleepy and tired, and to just relax and chill, I am going to be watching an episode of Bones while I snack. Okay. Oh my god, it's him!
Those other freaks are gonna beat us to the treasure anyway. The name's Blackthorn, and you do well to remember it. Your name is Trevor Bertuca, and that is your mom's cell phone. Now,
hello everyone. It has been quite some time since I've last spoken to you. It is Sunday afternoon at about 5 p.m. and I have finished 2 books since I last spoke to you. So I finished Shades of Milk and Honey. I gave that one a 2 out of 5 stars. It just wasn't what I was expecting. that the big tragic event that was hinted at on the back of the cover would be a lot more magical, I guess, and more exciting, and it just really wasn't. And I also think that this is kind of like it was just very, very short and also long at the same time. Like, it just took a long time, and I understand that there is like a slow burn romance, but like there was no romance in it at all between the two love interests. She had more chemistry with a different character, and just, yeah, so I didn't really enjoy it. So that one's now finished, thank God. I also just finished today All Systems Red by Martha Wells. I really enjoyed this one. I really want to pick up the rest of it. I really enjoyed the narrator's voice and how he changed his voice to portray other characters. That was really interesting, and I liked where the plot was going. It sort of ended on a little bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm excited to see where it's going to go. So I gave that one a 3 out of 5 stars. I think I definitely would have enjoyed it more if I was reading it, just because, like I said previously, the names are not normal names. I think one may be Indian or something along those lines. I'm not sure. Let me look it up actually. Yeah, so they have like, so Murderbot is the main character. Baradwa, definitely an Indian name. Valescu, Ida Menza, Ratithi, Pinley, Arada, Oversa. It's just very, very POC names, and so it was a little bit difficult for me to be able to realize who was talking without seeing the name. But nonetheless, I still enjoyed it, and I am interested in reading the second book in the series. I have now started going through my reread of Heir of Fire, which I do not have with me, but I've also started reading The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. I really don't know how to pronounce that, I'm really sorry. A thriller. I'm about 50 pages through, and it's moving pretty quickly, which is good. I thought it was going to be a bit slow from just the first couple of pages, but it seems to be moving quite quickly. We follow a main character, Mariana, who is a group therapist, and she is dealing with the grief of losing her husband. Her husband died about a year and a half or so before the book starts. And one night she gets a phone call from her niece saying that she thinks her best friend has been murdered, and so she goes to visit her niece and discovers that there is this weird teacher who has like a flock of students and a group of girls who has been dubbed the Maidens, which is like a Greek mythology term. So yeah, super excited to see where this one goes. I'm going to try and finish at least a majority of this today. I don't know how long it's going to go, but I'm going to try my best. I think it's going to be a quick read. It's only about 360 pages, so that shouldn't be too bad or hard to do. So yeah, I'm going to get to that now after I finish watching some BookTube, because I feel like watching some BookTube. I look like a mess. Sorry about that. Oh god. Alright, so hello everyone, it is Monday. It's time for me to wrap up this little vlog so I can start the week fresh. So last night I think I mentioned that I was reading The Maidens by Alex that person. I managed to finish it last night. A very quick read. I didn't enjoy it that much. Definitely not the most exciting thriller I've read, even though I haven't really read very many thrillers. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars. I kind of knew who the murderer was, and the meaning behind the murders was definitely not what I was expecting. I really didn't enjoy this. There was a lot of talk about our main character, Mariana. She is suffering from grief, which is understandable because she's just lost her husband about a year and a half ago or so. And so there's a lot of talk about grief and losing someone you love and things along those lines, and that takes up a majority of the book. And there was also just a lot of misdirection without it leading anywhere. Like, you start off the book in the prologue where Mariana is literally saying that the professor is the murderer, so you're like, okay, probably isn't, but you know, I'll keep going through, and just everything is pointing to this one person, and then it'll flip and go to this other person, but for no reason at all other than the fact that they're being creepy. And just, yeah, I really didn't enjoy this that much. But I am interested in seeing if I would enjoy The Silent Patient, which is their first book that they wrote. I just didn't. It was meh. I enjoyed the Greek aspects involved in it, but other than that, 2 out of 5 stars. That is it for this week. I am looking forward to starting a new week. I am so happy that I've managed to finish 3 books this week. That is insane, and I'm very, very happy about that. If you enjoyed this video, do give it a thumbs up and let me know what your thoughts were down below in the comments. How many books have you read off your TBR for this month? I am very happy that I managed to finish 3. I'll just say that. If you would like to see more of me, then do be sure to hit the subscribe button down below so you can stay in touch with everything that I'm going to be uploading. And if you want to just see me out of a video space, then do be sure to check out the social media links. I have Instagram and Twitter linked down below in the description box for you to have a look at, so do be sure to check those out. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in another video.